Greetings everyone, it is I, J.K. Mully, and I'm here to just notify the public about the new notices as it relates to the new forms of identification for the future elections. Some of us already know this, but for the few, I am just spreading the awareness. It is time for us to educate the youth once again about how important, essential it is for us to vote. We need to let people know about the new sanctions that have been passed, the new things that have been instituted to stop, to hinder, to impede our progress as it relates to voting. As a black people, as a person, as a people that have been given and granted this opportunity to vote, we need to do and take the measures needed so that we can fully get through that process. There's a lot of new identification upon the U.S. Justice Department. They have given us a list of approvals for photo identification, and they've told us that certain things that we used to do and have will not be accepted. Be careful when you are registering, because this is a new thing that they're doing, and they're actually putting it out there more in the mainstream. If your penmanship is not adequate, is not clear enough, they're gonna throw it out. If you have not received a new card, if you haven't received what you needed, the documentation, so that you're able to go through the process, please, I advise you to go about filling out a new form and doing what you need to do. Make sure that if you get married, you do another one of those forms so that you would not have any problems. They're saying the following forms of photo identification at the polling location. These forms only will be accepted before you're permitted to cast a vote, and they go as this. As we know, the Texas driver's license, as it relates to Texas, that is adequate. Make sure these forms of identification, make sure the Public Department of Safety, make sure these Department of Public Safety are the ones who are tagged to these forms, because that's what most of the forms that they accepted, most of these identification, it has to be of or by the PDS. So there's a Texas concealed handgun license issued by the PDS. There's a passport. There's U.S. citizenship certificate containing the person's photograph. You got to make sure there's a photograph. You have to make sure your name and everything else is there. If you're a junior, make sure junior is on your registration, on the form, on your card, and it's on your ID. Make sure everything matches. If you can become deputized, please become deputized. I need us to move in a way that we can spread the awareness. And what we are doing right now, the NAACP of Dallas, right now we're seeking out some different foundations and organizations in which we can spread this word, this education about how important it is. We're going to the high schools and we're educating the youths. We're even educating those youths, because these youths can go about educating their parents who may not know about what's going on. So if you're an organization in Texas, you're in a fraternity or sorority, please get hooked up with the NAACP, as we're looking, we're searching, we're seeking, we're sorting after those individuals so that we can impact Texas and even globally, the different states and areas, so they can understand what is going on in these systems, how they are putting things together so it can stop us from making a difference, so our effectiveness will be held back because of our ignorance. So I want us to understand that those individuals who are 17 years old, 10 months, please let them know that they're able to register. If they are 18 by the month of November, they are straight. So make sure we spread that word. This is not just about voting. This is about us taking hold of the opportunities, the gifts that have been granted, the bloodshed that our forefathers went through, so that we're able to affect change, that we're able to be governed as equal as it relates to citizenship. We have this ability now to do it. Let us not look at this and take it for granted. Let's understand that we're able to do great things, because with mass numbers we're able to change. Even one makes a difference. So spread the word as it relates to voting. Spread the word as it relates to knowing what's going on with the system and how they're actually trying to hide the truths from us. Make sure everything is done ahead of time before you end up going to those polls. Make sure there's 60 days before being presented. Make sure your voter qualification is done. Make sure everything is clear 60 days ahead of time before you go forth trying to vote. A voteless people is a hopeless people.